Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of the Feathercast, a podcast where four nerds talk about whatever the fuck they feel like. So let's go around and introduce ourselves. My name is Steve, and we're also going to be saying our favorite anime and video game as we introduce ourselves. I should have mentioned that first. Anyway, I'm Steve. My favorite anime was, and always will be Dragon Ball Z. Although My Hero Academia is a very close second. The more I watch it, the better it gets, and I really need to catch up on season 4. And my favorite video game is Dust and Elysian Tale. Shout out to all 2 of you in the audience who played it.
And me.
And Zach, yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting you played it.
All right, I guess I'll go first. Hello, everyone. My name is Brandon. My favorite anime is Code Geass. You cannot tell me that that anime is not perfect in every single way. At me if you think otherwise. And my favorite video game will actually be Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah.
Shout out to all one of you who've actually played that game and actually
I've been meaning to play Tactics for a long time. I'm just not really good at like RPGs in general, let alone tactic-based ones. Like I suck at Fire Emblem.
Let me tell you something. If you played Three Houses, right?
No.
Okay.
I have.
The only Fire Emblem game I played was Awakening.
Okay, so this is going to be way harder than Awakening.
Yeah, I figured.
Because the system that they have is that they have the Zodiac system, where certain people of certain birthdays work better with other people of other birthdays.
That's weird.
That's weird and dumb.
Well, there's a reason
All right,
for
well,
that.
let's before we get into the entire mechanics of how this game works, let's finish introducing ourselves.
Yeah. So who's next?
Zach, you want to go?
Sure. I'm Zach. My favorite anime is probably Devil is a Part-Timer. Favorite video game, which is a tough one. Probably say Pokemon Heart Gold, just in general.
Ooh, that's a good one. Have you been playing the Mystery Dungeon remake?
Of course.
I still gotta get that.
I still can't get past Mount Blaze 15 years later.
Really? I didn't have
Mount Blaze
trouble
always
with that.
kicks my ass because every time I go there, I'm so underleveled.
Which one is that? Is that the one with Moltres?
Yes. I got to Moltres, and then I died.
Do you have reviver seats?
No, I ran out. I have like no healing items.
Okay, see, there's your problem right there.
Yeah, I have to go through the rock path a million times and grind. All right, last but not least.
Would be me. I'm Casey. Favorite anime, hands down, would have to be Ruby for me.
I still have to finish Volume 7. I never finished it.
You can still use my stuff for that. No worries.
I mean, at this point, I can use mine because it's been out for so long that like I don't have to wait anymore.
This is true. You could probably watch it for free on Rooster Teeth. Favorite video game. For me, it's very hard since I don't play a ton of video games. But I have to say my current obsession with video games, because it changes, would have to be Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Nice.
I knew that would happen.
I'm the only person here who hasn't played it yet. Although I've played Byleth and Smash, and they're really fun. Despite my disappointment when they were announced.
Everyone was disappointed, but then they turned out to be actually good.
I knew that Byleth was going to be a fun character. I was just disappointed that they literally did the same thing they did with Corrin. Although this time I'll give it a pass because at least Byleth's game was out by this time.
Yeah, true. At least it wasn't.
Corrin was nothing but a marketing ploy, and you can't tell me otherwise. Apparently that game isn't even good anyway.
Well,
apparently people hate Fates.
A lot of people hate which was it? Conquest instead of Birthright.
Because you can't grind in that game unless you pay for it.
Like,
That's awful.
well, yeah, because
Oh my god, that's terrible.
and then Conquest is like the hardest one out of the two, because
Yeah.
Lord.
You can't grind.
you can't grind, and also you have to have these very specific win conditions and lose conditions.
Wow. That's dumb.
Like, you have to capture an area, a specific area on the map that is guarded like the freaking vault of freaking like
Fort
you're
Knox?
trying to get to into Fort Knox.
Wow. That's,
Dog.
Yeah, my dog just barked.
Wow,
Yeah,
that
no,
was,
I love Three Houses. Edelgar is waifu.
Yes, good choice.
Edelgard
See-
is waifu. Ash is a cinnamon roll. I will
See,
always
here's
love
the thing.
Sylvain.
Here's the thing. I want to play Three Houses, but like, I already know the plot twist. So
I mean, everyone
Oh,
knows.
so did
What's
I
that?
way before the game.
yeah,
There
Wikipedia
like
is a
several?
wonderful thing.
I literally looked at this like, oh, this is wonderful. Something tells me that the female is about to have a very dark past.
the only reason why I know the plot twist is because like the whole I think it was Dimitri is the blonde one.
Yes.
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 When he goes, is this some kind of twisted joke? That became a meme, and I saw that meme, and I'm like, I wonder what the context was, and I'm like, oh god, oh.
Yeah, for those who don't know, even though you should know by now at this point,
Spoilers for Three Houses.
yeah, spoilers for Three Houses. One of the main villains in the game is actually Edelgard.
She's not really a villain.
It's more that
She's-
she was
it
screwed
depends
over.
how
She's
you
an
do it.
antagonist.
I would, antagonist because she was screwed over with from a very young age.
Depending on the route you want to take in the
I mean,
game.
I don't.
I
I don't
also
know people
know,
who willingly went the freaking church route.
God, what's that?
I
that
went with
woman-
Edelgard.
Okay, this is not gonna come out right. I'm gonna say who's the person with the green hair, but there's like 5 of them. The one who isn't Sothis.
Rhea?
You mean
Rhea?
The other big plot twist.
Rhea?
Yeah.
Rhea.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you mean the fact that she's a dragon?
Yes.
That's not
I
even.
then
love
she's
how
actually
when
Sarah?
Violet was revealed for Smash, Sakurai. I'm not gonna give away too much about the game. Also, Sakurai. In the Rhea Spirit battle, after you defeat Palutena, Charizard shows up.
Yeah.
Not gonna spoil Three Houses. Also, Sakurai spoils Three Houses.
Yeah. Those with green hair are usually have some sort of dragon.
They're all dragons.
Yep.
Everyone's a dragon.
Yeah, like even if they're not specifically from Three Houses, like Tiki from Awakening is a dragon. She has green hair.
Yep.
The boss battle's always a dragon at the end. It's not even a spoiler at this
Right.
point.
Yeah.
Every Fire Emblem game has a dragon as the final
Except for
boss.
if you go with the golden deer.
Really?
Yeah, you want to know what your final boss is for the golden deer?
Is
Everybody.
it Edelgard?
No, it's Nemesis.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's brought back from the dead.
Dimitri's the Dimitri whatever house that one is.
The Blue Lions.
Yeah, that one. The final boss is Edelgard. I
Yes.
think.
Yes, because you have no choice with that one.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
with the church ending, it's Edelgard again with the
How
Edelgard
many endings
ending.
are there?
4. Well, 5
Okay.
now.
There's 5. Oh, right, because the DLC.
Yeah.
Yep.
I forgot about that.
Technically, I have not
Wasn't it
finished
so
the
funny
game,
how-
but I know the endings. That's because
Was-
Wikipedia is a wonderful thing.
Yeah. Boy, wasn't it so funny when after Byleth was revealed for Smash, they knew that Americans like did not care at all, so they didn't even bother to show the DLC announcement that followed it in the American presentation of the Direct.
Yeah.
Jesus.
They showed it everywhere else except the American live stream because they knew people didn't fucking care.
Well,
Nope.
because a lot of Americans don't really care for Fire Emblem, even
they're
though it's a
good
really
games.
good game.
It's growing in popularity here, but like I do feel that it's not only overrepresented in Smash, but it's not represented well enough. Byleth is the 8th Fire Emblem character in Smash, and they're the first one to actually use the weapons triangle.
True, I will give you that.
Like, dear God, what took so long? Not
Like-
to mention 4 of them are just Marth.
Yeah.
I can't even say anything about that. I love Marth to death, but he has too many
Marth,
copies.
Lucina, Roy, and Crom are all the same character. Gameplay
Yeah.
wise.
Yeah, I can't even say anything about that.
The only
'Cause they all
difference
use
is,
sword.
is Crom has a different up special, which even then is taken from another Fire Emblem character, Ike's.
Mm-hmm. I mean, at least Ike played differently, and I could understand Ike being involved.
That's why I wanted Crom to be an Ike Echo, because he would have been like different enough, but he was a Roy Echo instead. So I'm like, he's literally an echo of an echo.
Yeah, true.
I mean, technically Roy's not an echo, but he's still a clone.
A lot of people wanted like other characters to be represented, but instead of the main character.
I know a lot of people wanted Edelgard in place of Byleth.
I mean,
Yeah.
I saw that
Mainly
they were going to do
because,
Byleth.
again, people, and this is just a common thing for Smash fans. A lot of Smash fans just want more villain representation. Like, we got Ridley and we got K. Rool,
Not
but
even
like,
just that. It's just the fact that
there's
we have
still
a
not
lot
a
of
lot.
sword users.
yeah,
We have a
Yeah.
shit ton of sword users.
yeah.
Yes, and Edelgard uses
Too many
an axe.
swordsmen are there?
No such thing.
They fucking did that.
Even Kirby has like a little sword that he freaking uses.
You know what's funny about Kirby?
What?
Kirby has the most amount of moves in that game.
No,
If you
sorry.
include all of his copy abilities, he has 88 moves.
Jesus.
Oh, yeah. That is true.
Although the most amount of moves for any character at one time is Hero with 31.
See, now
Because of that
because
glorious
that
down B menu.
Oh, God.
Oh God.
We want to play a fun game. Switch the language setting to Japanese and play as Hero and press down B. See what happens.
Oh God.
It's really funny when you can't read it.
Wait, was it one of... I know you did this in a different language. Was it one of them just, like, kill?
Oh my god, no. It was either whack or thwack. One of them in Italian was morte instantanea, which translates to instant death. And that's really funny.
It's just like, let's see. I don't know what that is.
But no, the one you were thinking of, yes, I just remembered this. Yes, kill. I think it was French, where whack and thwack were kill and super kill.
Yes, that's what it was. Because I remember it's like, what does this word mean in French? I'm like, oh my god, they just said kill, just kill, die,
and super kill. It's really funny.
I just love the fact that they actually knew that these moves were just going to kill instantaneously.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the point.
Speaking of Smash, and this is probably going to date the episode. A new Famitsu column with Sakurai came out today, and he said that due to the current state of the world, that Fighters Pass 2 might be delayed because
I wouldn't be surprised.
If one worker gets sick, they have to stop progress entirely.
Yep.
Makes sense.
They're saying not to expect a Smash announcement. We're also apparently, according to leaks and stuff, supposed to get a direct next week. I don't know.
I mean, we got the indie direct today, and I missed that.
We did, yeah. Boy, don't you like how the only thing that was remotely interesting in the indie direct was the fucking Cyanide and Happiness game is being ported to Switch?
I can't believe that's actually happening.
Neither can I. I just think that's really funny.
But yeah, we're supposed to get another direct.
They're saying
this
the 26th.
Is the longest drought before this indie direct. This is the longest drought.
This is the longest we've gone without a direct.
I mean, even at least
we're
Sony
recording
and
this
Xbox
on
have...
we're recording this on St. Patrick's Day, and the last direct we got was way back in September.
Oh right.
So that shows how long it's been.
Yeah, we really haven't had an actual Nintendo Direct. It's usually been a Pokemon Direct, a Smash Direct,
yeah,
an Animal Crossing Direct.
It was just Sakurai Presents.
Sakurai knew that.
Boy, I love how in the Pokemon Direct, the only thing I cared about was the first thing showed, and then I just kind of checked out the rest of the time.
That's because you don't care for Gen 8.
I don't. I think it's really bad.
And that's just your opinion.
It is, but like a lot of other people share that opinion,
Wait,
so
what?
I'm not alone.
I'm sorry. What don't
What?
you like?
He doesn't like
What?
Gen 8.
Gen 8 is a
Oh boy,
very
here we go.
interesting subject.
We opened a fucking can of worms here.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me begin this.
I mean, maybe
Gen
with the DLC, like it'll get better, but like my issues with the game goes far beyond. Oh, they reused models and cut a lot of Pokemon. Like, there's a lot more issues that I have with the game than that.
I was actually gonna go through some of those, probably maybe some of those issues.
Yeah,
Okay, so the first thing is I really do dislike how, like, they said, oh, we're gonna stop babying you, and they keep on babying you.
this is like the easiest Pokemon game to date. Like, the champion doesn't even have a full team of 6.
Yes, he does.
No, oh, you're right, and he's the only fight in the game that has one.
When you get to the Pokemon
I mean,
League,
he's
none of
supposed to
them,
be the only one that has one.
none of
Well,
them
yeah,
have
but
a full
like
team of
think back to like
6.
Gen 1 where like some of the later gym leaders had 6.
No, he didn't.
They had
I'm
5.
pretty sure they did.
The only one that had
4 or
6,
5
I
maybe.
think it was Giovanni. That was it.
Then what am I thinking about? Because I could have sworn like some later gym leaders in certain games had 6.
No, most of them
Maybe
had 5.
for like the rematch battle.
Oh, that might be what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, but most of the time they had 5. But the thing is that I have a feeling that is it me or were the AIs just smarter in the old games?
Oh yeah, the AI in Gen 8 is fucking awful.
Like, there were multiple times that I should have lost, but they decided to use a status effect instead of an actual move that would kill me.
Yeah.
And that brings me to the second point. It's so simple. The game itself has no real, like, I'll say difficulty. I know that
I
doesn't
mean,
always
it's a game
mean.
made for kids.
I know, but there are a lot of games that are made for kids that honestly have some sort of difficulty to it.
Look at some Mario games, man. Champions Road is like one of the most like brutal levels in like any Mario game, and that came out like what 2013.
That is true. And
Even like Mario Odyssey, which came out like 3 years ago. Oh my god, Mario Odyssey came out 3 years ago.
yep.
Even then, the final level in that one took me like a week to beat.
Oh yeah, because you actually.
So, like, just because it's a kids game doesn't mean that it can't get hard later on in the game.
Yeah, but it's supposed to, like, okay, you finish this one, now let's up the difficulty. Okay, you finish this one, let's up the difficulty.
Or even like fucking Pokemon Mystery Dungeon for that matter. Like that game gets hard later on.
You know what? You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And that's
by the
really
way-
made for kids.
By the way, one of my favorite parts of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon was exploring the friend areas. And now the friend areas are just a fucking JPEG.
I hate that.
Thanks, Game
Honestly.
Freak. I should have known you'd fuck it up somehow.
Oh my god, they actually
Yeah,
did that.
that's like the one thing I don't like about the game.
I was so angry. I was so excited to explore again in glorious HD. And no, I get a JPEG. But you know what? At least they kept the music, which thank God, because Darkness Ridge theme is like my favorite Pokemon song ever. I love that music.
Anyway, back to Gen 8, because you opened this can of worms.
Let's try to not make this entire podcast just a Gen 8 review.
Yeah, we're not. This is, but you're talking to a person that actually went through the game 3 times. Because he wanted to see what it would
Why?
be. Because I want to see what it would be like with every single starter.
Oh, okay.
I didn't do it because it was fun. That was more work than when I'm working with autistic children at my job. That
And you know, because
fun.
why the hell not?
That wasn't fun for me. Raid battles are broken.
Yeah.
I can honestly say this without a shadow of a doubt. Raid battles need to be fixed. Raid battles need to, honestly... If you're going to put any difficulty in the game, at least make raid battles the one thing that's difficult.
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay,
You-
you know what? Make it so that way you can breeze through the main story. Fine, but if something that's supposed to be extra, where you're supposed to get these fantastical creatures that can transform, not only get oh my god, what is the power called again?
I don't even, I couldn't even Dynamax,
Dynamax, right? Not only could they Dynamax, but they can Gigantamax.
which is just a rebranded Mega Evolution. Fight
Yeah,
me.
yeah, it is. It's a giant Mega Evolution, but make it so that way those Pokemon are hard. And no, don't stipulate it with just, oh, you get it down to this amount of health. Now it has 5 shields.
Oh yeah, that's annoying.
That's not difficulty. That is padding.
You know what else is like, what else bothered me? And like, again, I do want to move on to this because I'm just getting more angry. But like one more point, like one of the most like challenging things in a Pokemon game is when you try to catch a legendary, and like it's always an exciting moment when you finally do it. If you don't, just use a Master Ball, but like it's a battle, it's a struggle, and it's engaging because you don't want to kill it because then you miss out on getting it. There are only like 2 legendaries in the game, and one of them is a forced capture.
And it's
Like,
during the
that
main
sucks
story.
a lot of the fun out of it.
Yeah. Like,
I would-
don't get me wrong. I can do, like, they did the same thing with Zekrom and Xerneas and Yveltal and
Yeah, but I didn't like it there either.
Reshiram, but then the other ones they made. But then again, those were the ones that were like, the main legendary.
Yeah.
But in this game, you're not even catching the main legendary.
Yeah.
You didn't even know this legendary existed until all of a sudden. By the way, Eternius exists.
Yeah. Like, oh man, I sure am glad that the plot of the game doesn't kick in until the fucking Pokemon League.
Yeah.
So like every Kingdom Hearts game.
What?
So like every Kingdom Hearts game.
The plot doesn't kick in till like the end.
like,
But like, yeah, like, God, man, just. Ugh.
and this is the last thing. If you're ever going to make it so that way EXP share is a global thing,
Oh God.
make it so that way people can turn it off.
I
Don't
can't-
just
why
give the
do
advice,
that?
well, you can always have one Pokemon on you and just trade that. Because what if you're in an area that helps
What if your
with
Pokemon faints? Like, fucking. Are you kidding me?
It's not even just that. Like, there are usually a lot of areas where you can go to that benefit for multiple Pokemon. So if
Yeah.
you want to like EV train it, okay, I go to this area. Not only do I get Pokemon that can help me with speed, but I can also get Pokemon that help me with health. So now I can help train those Pokemon.
Yep.
You can't do that anymore.
Nope.
I think the
All right. One
Yeah.
more thing before we move on to the next topic. If you ever feel like your character designs just aren't good, remember that Swordward and Shieldward exist. Those are like the worst designed characters I've ever fucking seen. Who thought it was a good idea to style their hair in the shape of a sword and a shield and go, that's good character design?
I mean, I could
It's
deal
not.
with the fact that like maybe there's a sword design on their shirts.
Yeah, but
Or
like
shield
their
design on their-
hairstyles to be the shape of a sword and a shield? Are you fucking kidding me?
Also, their battles are pushovers.
Yeah. Good God. All right. I don't want to talk about this
Yeah,
anymore. I'm just
let's-
getting angry.
Let's move on to something anime related.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We're going to talk about an anime that people have called, that people will say, I'm not a furry, but.
Oh, is this Beastars?
Yes.
I still have to watch this. I've
Beastars,
been
on
meaning
Netflix,
to.
right?
I haven't. Yep.
Beastars has recently come out on Netflix. For anyone
Yeah, which is
who's-
why I want to binge it. I just haven't yet because I was preoccupied with other stuff.
Ah, don't worry about it. And I
All this
just
quarantine
binged it.
is all this quarantine is finally giving me an excuse to like work on YouTube videos again.
That's good. Well, yeah, I just binged it, and Jesus Christ, do I love it.
Yeah, I've heard like nothing but good things about it.
Like, a lot of people thought that was just going to be like, furry bait, or this is honestly just for furries, and that's about it. But
Nah, it's more than that.
something that I saw in a YouTube video that actually interests me and honestly got me thinking: the less human something is, the more human elements come out.
Oh, definitely.
And
Look at Zootopia.
yeah, exactly. And I was just
They
going to
made a
say,
whole, like they made an entire movie about race that worked better than most movies with humans about race.
and you're going to see the same type of thing in Beastars.
Oh, sweet.
It's darker though,
Oh, good.
like extreme, like discrimination out the ass type of dark.
Oh boy.
I do love the main character. He's an awkward goofball, and I love him. All he wants to do is love somebody.
That's the wolf, right?
Yes. His name is Legoshi, and I love him because he's like that. He's the awkward person.
Yeah.
Like, you'll see him for the
I
first
get
time.
that.
You'll see him for the first time, and like, this is like one of the first scenes, Steve. So you won't be. It's not saying anything for much.
Right.
But this one girl, literally standing outside her dorm, and the wolf Legoshi comes out, and she's thinking that she's about to get killed by him, but no, he's giving her a love letter from someone who passed.
Oh, that's really sweet, actually.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart, and I love him, and he's a cinnamon roll, and needs to be protected.
So, yeah, I definitely need to watch this show.
Definitely, I would
Now
I would
that it's on
suggest.
Netflix. I'll watch it. And while we're on the topic of Netflix and anime, Castlevania season 3 aired earlier this month,
Ah,
and
yes.
it was good.
That's it.
Yeah, I can honestly say that it was good. That's about it.
Okay, coming off of like the Tales of season 2, which was like fucking fantastic. Like season 2 was like near flawless. That it was so good. Everything was set up perfectly. Everything was like executed well, and like the payoff was fantastic. My biggest fear going into season 3 was that it would be really hard to make an engaging story without Dracula. I was right. I don't want to say like it doesn't work without Dracula, but like what they did, it's what it really was just the entire season was just kind of filler, because like nothing really happened.
You had vampires trying to gain territory through any means necessary. You
Yeah,
had beasts
which is all again just a setup for season 4. Like I guarantee season 4 is going to be amazing, this huge vampire war and everything, but like nothing fucking happened this season.
I will say this. Who was it? The judge?
I like the judge.
I loved him.
Fun fact about the judge, he is voiced by Jason Isaacs,
Really?
and this is not the first Castlevania character he's voiced. He also was the voice of Satan in Lords of Shadow.
Oh.
So I thought it was really cool that they brought him back. But yeah, he was great. I love the judge. Everything Saint Germain did was perfect. I love Saint Germain. I loved him in the original game he was in, and I love what they did. He's different, but still kind of the same idea. Like in the original game, he
Saint
was a
Germain,
time
who was that
traveler.
again?
Saint Germain.
Oh, no, wait. No, never mind. I know exactly who that is, and I know exactly.
Yeah, in the original game, he was like a time traveler, but in this
Ah.
one, he was kind of like a dimensional world traveler. And I thought that was a neat take.
He introduces himself as a magician,
Yeah,
and that's it. He doesn't give
I
anything
loved
else.
everything they did with that character. That was great.
Him and the judge had such good characters and
Oh, yeah.
characters.
The main gimmick of season 3 was that there's 4 different stories going on at once. And my main issue is that I really only liked 2 of them. We'll start with the worst one and then work up to the best one.
Okay, which one do you think is the worst one?
Alucard.
100%.
And that is very disappointing because Alucard's my favorite character.
Oh my god. I hate what
Nothing
they did
happened.
with him.
He, first of all, I don't like seeing Alucard sad. And this entire time he was sad, and then he started taking on 2 pupils. And I'm like, okay. But we're spoiling the entirety of Castlevania Season 3, by the way, so spoilers. Like, he took on 2 Japanese vampire hunters as pupils. And I'm like, oh, maybe this is like a tie to Alucard's like ties with Japan, like in the later games, like in Aria of Sorrow, where he becomes part of the Japanese government. Maybe this is leading up to that. I was very wrong. He tries to train them, and then they have a 3-way with him, and then try to kill him.
Yeah, I was surprised with the 3-way. I'm like,
what the fuck?
You're fucking your teacher.
Are they
First
at
of
least
all,
girls?
like that came out of nowhere.
One is a boy, one is a girl.
Okay.
I love how Zach must ask the important questions. Are they girls?
No,
one is a boy, one is a girl.
One's a boy, one's a girl. So proving Alucard is bisexual, I guess. Whatever. That wasn't information I cared about. Alucard. But like, I don't care about Alucard's sexual preference. I want to see him fight vampires. But like,
no, you must know his sexual preference.
Yeah, but that came out of nowhere.
It fulfills your life.
Honestly, it did, because here's the thing. With the way that they set it up, I thought that they were going to like try to get more devious and try to actually, learn things that they weren't ready for. Maybe let out something that could like kill them, and Alucard has to save them.
Oh, like you know what would have been really cool is if like they did that. And like they tried they explored parts of the castle where they didn't belong, and they like go to like the castle like catacombs, and they unleash fucking Galamon. That would have been amazing. It would have been a good like Symphony of the Night reference and a good way to bring that character in.
But no,
they fuck him and then try to kill him. And like, but here's the thing: what's so awkward about that scene? Not only is that happening, but also Hector is getting it on with Lenore.
Oh yeah, they were showing 2.
Not only were they showing 2 different sex scenes, but it was spliced in with 2 different fight scenes.
Basically, like, 2 different wars. 2 different wars.
What do you want me to feel here?
I'm just like,
do you want me to feel like engaged in a fight, or do you want me to feel engaged in a different?
Because the way that they set it up, it was like sex, fight scene, sex. Fight scene, sex.
Yeah, it was so awkward.
Fight scene, sex, fight scene.
It was so weird, and it bothers me. It really bothers me because one of the fight scenes included one of the coolest parts of the season, which was the fight with Isaac and Legion. Because holy crap, I did not expect Legion to show up in this season.
I didn't either.
That was a huge surprise.
All those flying citizens.
Yeah, but like, good God, that. So anyway, the hentai scenes aside, Alucard's story was just really kind of boring, and that's upsetting because I love him as a character, and I wish that like I really don't like what they're starting to do, and I hope I'm wrong about this, but the final episode kind of set it up like this, and I really hope I'm wrong. It really seems like they're setting up Alucard to become Dracula.
I think they are.
And I don't like that. Because Alucard's whole thing is that he's the opposite of Dracula. He protects humanity. And they're starting to set it up like he's going to become just like his dad, and I don't like that. So I really hope they don't go down that path.
I mean, we did get to see his dad again.
Yeah. Oh boy, don't you like how all Dracula did this season was a vibe check?
Yeah. That's all he needed. It's not even like he threats anybody. He's just like, I'm just going to wave my hand.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Yeah, I thought Alucard's was the weakest. Nothing really happened there, and it was just kind of lame. And it all led up to nothing. Like, that was the big thing. Like, at least the next one that I'm going to talk about, at least it led somewhere.
All right.
Alucard's story led nowhere.
Okay, so second worst.
Hector.
Oh yeah,
I'll
give you that.
really excited because they were hyping up Carmilla to be the main villain of this season, and all Carmilla did the whole season was stand around and do nothing.
I honestly thought that she was going to play more of a part, honestly, just like you did.
Yeah.
And
But
no, it's who was it again that he slept with?
Lenore.
Yeah, it's Lenore that apparently we had to
By
look
the
out
way,
for.
Lenore, Striga, and whatever the other one's name is, I don't remember. They are not Castlevania characters.
So,
They are original characters for this. And don't get me wrong, I like them fine. I like Striga a lot, and I liked Lenore. I thought that she was a really interesting, like, manipulative character. But like, my only issue is that, like, it was so predictable. Like, I knew Lenore was gonna try and convince Hector to help them by manipulating him and pretending she liked him, and then when she slept with him and then put the ring on to control him, I'm like, yep, I saw this coming.
I mean, you kind of saw that coming when after she said to him, like, I may be a pacifist, but don't think I'm not going to kick your ass.
But like, what I would have liked to see was kind of like set her up like that, but then build up and like have her change and realize that, hey, maybe humans aren't that bad. Maybe I can have feelings for one. The same way that Dracula did with Lisa.
Yeah, maybe, but
Like that, I thought that would have been a lot better.
Nope.
But no, they just
she's
it
still
was
loyal to
predictable.
her sisters in every way, shape, and
and
form.
it was really predictable. And also, like, good God, man, give Hector a break. This poor guy.
This man has been stripped of all clothing and
Oh my
beaten
God.
the shit out of, and had
Even moldy
cold,
bread with cockroaches in it.
freezing water poured on him. He gets no breaks. He gets one moment of sex, and even then, that turns into I am not. He is now a slave.
I feel bad for all those like Curse of Darkness stands who like love Hector and was so excited when he showed up, and like now they're just beating the shit out of him constantly in this series. I feel bad for all Hector fans.
Oh yeah.
And I like Hector too, so I'm upset that this is
For all
happening
of you
to him.
Hector fans, we're sorry.
I mean,
sorry
yeah,
that
like
Netflix
he
did
was,
this to
he
you.
was the main playable character in Curse of Darkness, and he was awesome. And now you're just relegating him to just Carmilla's punching bag.
And Lenore's sexual pleasure.
Yeah. Moving on to the next one, Trevor and Sypha.
Oh.
I liked them a lot. I loved how like now that they're like in a relationship, they have a lot of like old married couple banter.
They do.
I like that a lot. As I mentioned before, I love everything that Saint Germain did. And I liked the judge, and I liked the idea of them like opening a portal to hell to bring back Dracula, showing that, hey, we can do this, and let's be honest, they probably will in a later season.
Yep.
So I liked that a lot. I liked the fight scenes at the end with the big demon, the guest, as the priors called it.
Yeah, I love
and
what Trevor did with both of the whips.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, when he pulled out the vampire killer along with the Morning Star, I'm like,
Yes.
okay, this is rad. This is so rad. He's dual wielding whips, and like,
And
then he ignites it on fire, and I'm like, yes, give. It's always great to see Sypha be a badass as well.
Also, the ending with the judge.
Oh God, that was fucking disturbing.
Okay, I like if you're going to say anything, we cannot say that did not shock us.
Oh no, that really caught me off guard because like earlier in the season,
and for Casey and Zach, the judge has said this thing where basically he said in the beginning of the season, "Oh, I don't have children running around in my town or in my town. They don't do that here." And a lot of us would just think, okay,
See child running across screen.
I mean, yeah, we see a child running across stream, and we thought that he was going to put him in jail or something or anything like that.
Eternal timeout.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. But what he does is he sends him to an apple tree that he's planted, and that's it.
And yeah,
a demon apple tree?
No, just an apple tree.
Here's where we go. So then, during the final battle with what were the guys' names again?
It was prior.
The
God,
Priory, I think.
Yeah, but I can't remember the main prior's name.
I forgot the. Okay, so the main prior, who's trying to bring back Dracula, kills the judge. The judge says, "Go to the apple tree, stand there in the clearing. You will find your way to freedom." The guy goes to the apple tree, but then we never see him again.
They're dead.
Until Trevor and Sypha show up and see that right in front of the apple tree is a fucking pit of spikes.
And guess where he's been sending all the children?
To the pit of
Oh.
spikes.
So this judge, who we thought was like a good guy the whole season, in like one of the last scenes, is revealed to be a child serial killer.
Oh, and it gets better.
And that was so fucked up.
And it gets better because not only do we get that, but when he sees Trevor and Sypha before he dies, he says, "Burn my house."
Yeah, burn my house down. Trevor, of course, being Trevor, was like, "Let's take a look inside." And they go to his back room, and he kept all the shoes of the children he murdered.
So he
Oh,
not
fuck.
only did he kill them, but he went to the apple tree, took one shoe from each child that went there, and put it on a pedestal. Not just like, in a box of like, all the shoes. Like each one had a pedestal.
That was fucked up.
And you just look at this and I'm just
God.
like, oh my Jesus fuck, what the hell did you?
That really caught me off guard.
I think
And finally, what I feel is the best story of the season, Isaac's.
Him trying to find his own way is
Everything
good.
that happened in Isaac's story was amazing.
It's all
from
about
him
him trying to find his own way.
Finding his own way, but also struggling with humanity. Like there are like multiple characters who like in his story who like kind of waver his views on humanity and like, hey, maybe humanity isn't that bad. But then like the next scene, humanity proves him wrong. And it's a really cool way of showing Isaac's kind of like descent into madness. Because I'm really wondering if they're going to turn Isaac into the like flamboyant psychopath that he was in the original game. And I feel like if they descend him into madness, that'd be a cool way to do that. If they don't, it's fine, but like that'd be interesting. But like I think it's just really, it was really interesting to see all these characters. I loved the captain. I thought he was great. And I loved. Again, I mentioned like the fight with Legion. I thought that was amazing.
If I honestly had to tell you that you were going to see a fight between a vampire and a giant ball of people, would you believe me? Because that's literally what happened during the Legion versus Isaac battle.
Yeah. Well, Isaac's not a vampire. He's still human.
Well, okay, yeah, true.
He's a devil.
Yeah, he was like the Force
Which,
Master,
by the way, he met along the way. Isaac met another devil master, like right before he fought Legion, who was an old woman. I want to know more about this character.
But the question is, do you think she survived?
Yeah, I think it showed that she did.
Okay.
I want to know more about this character because I have a feeling, especially when like this character like emitted that like purple aura. Like when she started emitting that purple aura, I legitimately thought, "Oh my God, is this Death?"
Yes, it's Death.
And I thought that she was going to transform into Death. I was wrong, but like,
she became a pretty princess. Sorry.
No,
well,
she didn't really reveal anything.
Death has wear like multiple disguises throughout the series, but like, who knows? Like, there's also like a bunch of hints. Like there were like subtle hints that it could be Death, but like, I don't know. They kept it very vague.
We're probably going to see more of her. Hopefully, I'm praying.
Most likely, I mean, it's where Isaac left off. So, I don't know, but I thought it was good. I liked the season. It wasn't even remotely as good as season 2, and just a lot of nothing happened, and that's really my big complaints. I'm sure season 4 is going to be really good.
I think that's I think they did it more like a calm, like this is the calm before the storm. Because if you think about it, a lot of people would say, what do you mean? Like, there was so much shit happening, but like compared to what happened in season 2 and even in season 1,
Yeah.
this was way calmer than what happened.
Yes, there was a lot happening, but it was a lot of nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like with Alucard not really doing
It was
much except with
mostly
the
filler.
pupils. You didn't really see that much happening with the Priors and
Yeah.
Trevor and Sypha and
The
Saint
only thing that
Germain.
really, the only thing that really focused the overall story was the fact that they're setting up a vampire war, and the fact that the possibility of bringing back Dracula is a thing. That was really it.
Yeah, you didn't really get much else than that. Like, you got some good fight scenes.
Oh yeah,
I'll
definitely,
give you that. But
definitely.
as Steve
And
said, it's a
some
whole lot of nothing.
excellent one-liners.
Yes.
What the fuck is toilet paper?
I love that so much. I love that so.
So funny. But yeah, I liked it fine. I'm just excited to see what they do next, because I'm pretty sure they could top this easily.
I'm sure they will, because with the way that Netflix has been doing a lot of anime and stuff like that, especially like as they did like the last 2 seasons, and even when it comes to like Beastars, since that was a Netflix original series, they've been hitting it out of the park with anime. I'm not gonna lie. Like, some people would kind of say like, oh, they're ruining anime and they're ruining stuff, but they've honestly been hitting it out of the park with the anime shows that they've been showing, bringing back some old ones that people have forgotten. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do next.
Okay, I'll be right back. There's a dog barking who wants to come inside.
Okay.
Grab the dog. So moving on from this conversation, because I don't want to I don't want to stay on a topic for too long. We kind of did a mini review of the season.
Tangent.
Yeah. As we mentioned, we were recording this on St. Patrick's Day, and there's a lot of games coming out soon that I'd like to talk about. For starters, this Friday is a double release for 2 vastly different games that have been getting the most amazing fan over cross art. I mean, wow, I'm gonna try that again. Crossover fan art.
Yeah, we got it.
Fan over cross art. What the fuck?
Words are hard.
Yes, they are.
Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Oh god.
I've never really played Animal Crossing, but
Same.
the new one looks zen as fuck. And it just looks like a really good time. And like, I don't know. I probably won't pick it up day one, but like, I'll probably pick it up at some point because it looks really fun.
Okay, so we may hear the panting of a dog sometimes.
That's okay.
fine.
All right, so what are we talking about?
Animal Crossing.
Games.
Hey, Animal Crossing. I really want to get that game, but I have.
Yeah, I mentioned that I never really played an Animal Crossing game aside from like maybe 10 minutes of New Leaf.
Really? So you never played
yeah.
the OG Animal Crossing on the GameCube?
Nope.
Ooh.
It just never really interested me. Because it reminded me a lot of like games like Harvest Moon and stuff, which I wasn't super into.
The thing is, though, unlike Harvest Moon, that I didn't get into Harvest Moon, but I did get into Animal Crossing.
Right.
Because
I mean, it's not that I don't. It's not that I don't think I would like it. I mean, like as a kid, I definitely wouldn't have, because I would have been. As an adult, I've grown a more of a like a refined taste for like calming Zen games.
yeah,
and I feel like this would fall into that category, I think.
with the way that my childhood was, where I was always doing something with sports. I needed something that was less action packed and more like sit down, catch some catch some insects, do some fishing, pay
Yeah.
off your rent, pay off your rent again.
I was
Pay
gonna
off your
say,
rent
pay back Tom Nook.
for the third time because Tom Nook was an asshole. Forget to save. Have Mr. Rossetti lecture you for the umpteenth time because for some reason
Is he in this one?
No, because there's auto
Okay, that's right. I wasn't sure because there were rumors going around back for this one because he wasn't in New Leaf.
He may be back, but because of the way that they've been doing the whole entire auto savings feature, I don't know what they would do with him.
Yeah,
Because
I don't know.
like his whole entire bit was the fact that, oh, you didn't save your data, huh? Well, let me guess. You had all this stuff done, and then you had to turn off the video game. Well, guess what happens when you do that? I have to do all this work to make it so that way it goes back to the exact same way you left it on the last save.
Anyone who played Animal Crossing as a kid must be like the most paranoid person when it comes to saving their game.
Oh, I was. Let me tell you something. Whenever Mr. Rossetti came out, I was terrified. And I had a dream as a kid. I still remember this dream, where basically what happens is I would go out my house to go to school. I'd be sitting at the bus. The bus rolls up to me, and then guess who's sitting at the bus driver's seat?
It's Mr. Rossetti.
Mr. Rossetti. And then he jumps out and attacks me. Because he says, why didn't you save your fucking game? Why didn't you? Why do I have to go through this every single
really
day?
funny.
Didn't I tell you to save last time? And what do you not do?
Right.
Oh my god.
I'll be right back, guys.
All right.
Okay.
I was mortified of him, so I always
Oh
saved.
my god.
So,
Wow.
and when I told my parents this, they're like, wait. A mole came out of a bus and beat the shit out of him? And I said, it was a fat mole. A fat mole.
Oh my god.
Oh, Lord.
But yes, in addition to Animal Crossing, Doom is also coming out.
Can I just talk about how much I love, like, the memes that are coming out with both Doom and Animal Crossing?
Yeah.
And how they
Oh,
have
it's so good.
this stuff with Doom guy just doing Animal Crossing stuff and Isabella just destroying.
Just murdering. Yeah. There you go.
I'll have to show a picture of that.
Yeah, you have to put that picture up that Zach just sent.
But like, I love the fact that both communities came together and just said, you know what? They're coming out during the same time.
Oh, my favorite was like when Nintendo posted, "Hey, there's going to be an Animal Crossing Direct." The official Doom Twitter just goes, "Will Isabel be there?" That's
My
hysterical.
favorite meme is where you see Doom guy like getting apples and fishing, and then it says meanwhile, and then you just see Isabella just firing a gun just happily.
Murdering everyone.
Just murdering everything, and it's just like there's no facial expression.
God, it's so funny.
Just smiling.
I love it.
And kudos to both the Animal Crossing community and the Doom community for making such great memes for both of them.
Yeah. It's the crossover we never knew we wanted.
Yeah. And our friend Lucas was happy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so happy.
Yeah, Doom Eternal looks so cool. It looks so awesome. I'm mainly excited for the soundtrack because this Team Doom is like the gentiest fucking thing. That soundtrack is absolutely amazing, and I'm excited to see what absolute bangers they do this time
Speaking
around.
of good music and freaking good gameplay, guess what else is coming out this month?
Pirate Warriors 4.
Well, there's that. I still can't believe that's actually coming out this month. But Final Fantasy VII.
No,
No.
next month.
Really?
It was delayed to
got
April
delayed.
10th, like a month ago.
I see. I didn't see that.
Yeah. But you know, I'm okay with it being April 10th because that's 5 days before my birthday. So, but yeah, Final Fantasy VII's coming out. I have replayed the demo, at
7 times?
least like 17 times.
Oh God, Steve. I get the demo is good. Like, the demo is really good. I can't even deny that. I played it and I
Yeah.
loved every moment of it. I said, this
Yeah.
will probably get. First of all, they didn't screw over Zach. I mean, not Zach. Cloud.
Thank God. That was my biggest fear. My biggest fear was that they were going to make Cloud the fucking boring, brooding piece of shit he is in modern games. No, they actually kept him to the original character that he was in 7, and I'm so happy about that.
I love the banter.
I was so worried they were going to fuck up
I
Cloud.
love the banter between him and Barrett.
Oh, it's great. Barrett's dialogue in this is so good.
I love it because they just
they're sucking out the Mako energy while you eat, while you sleep, while you shit.
they just rip on each other every second they can.
Oh, it's great.
And
I love it. You can't tell me that you don't hear the planet dying out in pain. I know you can. You actually hear that? Damn straight I do. Get help. Thank God they didn't fuck it up.
Oh God!
But we also have a bit more information about it regarding the. We have confirmation on how many episodes it will be.
2.
It will be 2. People thought it was gonna be 3. No, it will be 2 episodes.
Like, from what I've been seeing, it's like all the way up to. For part 1 is going to be all the way up to the end of where they leave Midgar, and then part 2 is
no.
everything else.
No,
Oh Lord!
Wait,
Brandon.
Oh no! Wait, no, I'm sorry. That's my bad.
Part 1
Part 1 ends at one of
with
the most pivotal parts.
moment.
It ends at one of the most pivotal parts. And for you
Yeah.
children
The
who
moments.
don't know what that
Yeah.
is,
I mean,
swear
come
to
on.
God.
How do you not know what this is at this point?
Some children don't know.
That's fair. I don't want to spoil
Some
it.
children don't know.
All right, but yes,
I will give the children that. But for
Part
all you
1
adults out there that freaking
You
don't
know.
know what the hell
know
I'm
what
talking
part.
about, I will come over to your house and slap each and every one of you.
But yes, part 1 is ending with that scene.
We're not going to say anymore because I'm not going to be
yeah.
Sakurai and then put it in our stream. Because that would be a dick move, right?
Also, one of my friends is currently playing through it with her boyfriend, and she's never played it before, so I don't want to spoil that.
Is it Antonio?
No, it's one of my coworkers.
Okay.
But yeah, so I don't want to spoil that. But yeah, it ends with that scene, and then part 2 is the
Everything
rest
after.
of it. And even then, that's still a lot of game after that.
I mean, I honestly want to see what they
the other
do
thing-
with the super bosses.
Yeah, me too. But the one thing that I'm really, really excited about, Yuffie and Vincent are no longer optional members. They are mandatory this time around. Thank God.
I mean, I don't see a reason why you wouldn't go ahead and get them.
Yeah, but like the fact that you can miss them is like kind of upsetting because they're two like of the best characters.
I mean, you can always go back and get them.
Well, yeah, but like the fact that like you can't miss them anymore, I think that's a good thing
I think
because
it's
now
because like a lot of people kept saying, "Well, what about Vincent and Yuffie? What about Vincent and Yuffie?" It's like we're gonna make it so that way you can't miss them.
yeah,
we're
and
gonna
I like that a
specifically make
lot,
it so
especially
that way
because
you have to
love
go
Yuffie.
to where they are, so that way you can get them.
yeah, I like that a lot. I like that they're adding like some like more like side missions and stuff too.
I love that they're adding new characters.
Yeah, it's really looking up to be like a truly
I
amazing.
also love how Cloud looks as a woman.
Yes, oh my god, I was so happy they showed off that scene.
I was like, okay,
Oh my
what are they
God.
gonna show? Cloud as a woman. I never thought I'd say this, but damn, she hot.
I was so happy with that scene. I'm like, yes, they're doing it. They kept it.
I mean, there's no way that you can really not have that in there.
Yeah, it's like a crucial part of the story. So like,
Because if you did that, then you would be taking a good part of the story out.
yep. But yeah, I'm really happy about that. Everything that it has been shown off so far is just so good. It's looking so good, and I'm excited to. Obviously, this won't be until part 2 comes out, which who knows when that will be. But like, I cannot wait with the way the soundtrack is shaping up to be. I cannot wait to hear what they do with One Winged Angel.
I mean, if they get
That's going to be glorious.
if they get the people from Final Fantasy 14 to do it, then you have no problems there.
Oh, that would be great.
Because you know that music is perfect in every way.
Oh yeah, but like from what they've been showing, like what they did with the boss theme was amazing. Like it caught me so off guard when I first heard that boss theme, and I'm like, "Whoa, this sounds amazing!" It's like they took this like hard rocking song in the original and made it like this epic cinematic orchestra trailer kind of music, and I'm like, "Whoa!" I'm loving it. I'm so excited. I have not been this excited for a game since Smash Ultimate. So, very excited for that.
Honestly,
And then,
I will say, this game is giving me new hope for me liking Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah,
I didn't like the original one. I'll be honest.
I still love it.
And now they need a remake 6.
Yes, that's next. Please,
When
Square,
they remake
please.
6.
Do it, please.
When they remake 6. People are going to realize that 6 is better. No, I'm joking. You can honestly...
Look, 7 may be my favorite, but I will agree that it's a game.
Okay, look, listen. I'm just gonna say this. Everyone can like whatever Final Fantasy you want. I just got sick and tired as a kid hearing, "Oh, Final Fantasy VII is the best." I'm like, Final Fantasy VI was better.
Yeah. I like 7 over 6 for like personal reasons, but like I think that overall 6 is just a better game.
Yeah.
Like the systems are better, like the characters are better. And don't get me wrong, I love the cast of 7, but as much as I love them, they don't hold a candle to the cast of 6.
Oh hell no!
Yes,
like holy crap, the cast of 6 is amazing.
By the way, since we're on Final Fantasy news, it has been confirmed that the city of Final Fantasy NT will not be getting any more updates.
Oh, okay. I kind of figured as much because I haven't really heard anything else about that game recently.
Well, I mean, they put in a lot of people's favorite character, Gabranth from Final Fantasy 12, who should have been in there instead of freaking Vayne. Everyone's like, why did you put Vayne in when people love Gabranth more?
Vayne is also just such a boring protagonist. Like, am I like in the minority for saying that I think Vayne is the worst protagonist in any Final Fantasy game?
He's not a protagonist.
You mean antagonist?
What?
He's an antagonist.
You're talking about Vaughn?
I'm thinking of Vaughn.
Yeah, you're thinking of Vaughn.
Their names are too similar.
Vayne and Vaughn, although from the same game.
But yes, Vaughn. I think Vaughn is like the worst protagonist in any Final Fantasy game.
To be fair, that game is like an ensemble cast rather than having one main character.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could argue that the main character, the princess.
You mean Ash?
Yeah.
I mean, she's the best character to use, honestly.
Well, yes, but like a lot of the plot revolves around her too.
Yeah.
So, like,
but
I don't know. I just think Vaughn is such a boring protagonist.
I mean, he's just your basic plucky protagonist.
Yeah.
Like,
so would you say that he's the worst Final Fantasy protagonist?
Let me
Probably.
think about that. Considering that even the Warrior of Light has better, when they gave the Warrior of Light, Furion, and freaking Onion Knight better personifications, I will say yes.
Yeah.
Even Lightning has a better personification, and hers is just.
I've always liked Lightning.
Here's the thing, though.
It's just a shame that the game she came from was awful.
A lot of people actually. There are some people that actually don't like her. I'm not gonna say a lot, but there are some people that don't like her. But if you look at like
probably just because they don't like the game.
Yeah, if you look at all the personifications of the characters, I even like Noctis, and I did not think that Final Fantasy 15 was all that great.
Yeah,
everyone said it was amazing. I'm like, it's
all right.
It's better than 13. I'll give it that.
It doesn't take much to be better than 13.
Welcome back.
What?
Mom came back home.
Oh.
All right, but
yeah. I mean, like, I think Noctis is a fine character. I don't have any issue with him. Honestly, like, my issue with 15 isn't really the characters. It's just kind of like the story and some parts of the gameplay. Like, I didn't find the story engaging, and like I liked the gameplay when it was like that, like hack and slash type thing. But like, there's one mission that's like crucial to the story where it becomes like a Resident Evil type gameplay.
All right.
That was like,
what are you talking about?
Awful.
Which mission are you talking?
I don't remember. But like,
is it the one where you have to go into that long dark cave?
Yeah, I think so.
Not even cave, like almost like a sewer system.
All I remember is that the gameplay reminded me more of like Resident Evil than Final Fantasy. And I know that like they updated the game and like gave you the option to skip that.
They did, because a lot of people hated it.
But there's like a big story chunk there, and if you skip it, they don't recap that. So you just miss part of the story. That's just kind of dumb.
It is, I will admit, like they didn't execute everything well. But I
really
will
think
admit
that through.
they did bring in a good character in Noctis. The power that they
Yeah.
have with the whole entire idea of communing with the crystal was an actual interesting idea.
Yeah. I just didn't really find it engaging. You know,
It,
I wasn't like wrapped into the story the way I was with 7 or 6 or 10 or
Here's the thing. I think they were just trying to get off of the fact that they failed with 13 and trying to make that one at least a little bit better.
yeah.
Which I will say that's leaps and bounds better than 13 because it's
Yeah.
not like so monotonous
It's
and
not a straight line.
yeah, no straight lines whatsoever.
13 is such a straight line that one of the bosses is just a wall.
I know exactly which one you're talking about, and I hate
Fucking
that. It's the
stupid.
wall with 1,000 faces, isn't it?
Yes.
Ah!
Can't walk around it because the game is a straight line. Ugh.
Oh, I hate that
Anyway.
boss. It was a freaking foul seed that decided to just go like, "Oh, by the way, you
Yep.
can't continue any further." Like
Yep.
you have like this room before it filled with like robot soldiers, and then all of a sudden you get to this boss. And it's like, okay, we're gonna beat this old man. Nope, he's a foul seed. Nope, he turns into a gigantic wall face. By the way, you have to kill each and every single face that's on him.
Well, the
Oh,
way
fun.
that we're talking at on about Final Fantasy and stuff. We should probably mention that we have a certain project that will be coming up soon. That we have called Summon Squad, which
yeah.
is me, Lucas, no, me, Brandon, and Zach playing through every Final Fantasy game.
Except 2.
We're
Yeah,
going
probably.
to go. We're going to go through 2 a little bit, and then never touch it again.
Two will be a one-off.
Because I honestly, even in like the smallest of circles of Final Fantasy fans, 2 is considered to be the worst game of all time.
Yeah. Because it's like the game you play like once just to try to beat it and you never play it again.
And even when you try to beat it, you get frustrated.
Yeah.
In the beginning, you could literally get to the point where you're soft locked
Oh.
because what happens is it tells you, oh, go north. They don't tell you where to go from there. So you go north. You go ahead, get to a part where they literally have monsters that destroy your ass. And if you have it on the phone, you can go to the continue section. If you go to the continue section, you literally are stuck in that area.
Oh no.
And you cannot get back. You cannot get out.
That's awful.
And if you want to get out, you have to go south. And even if you have to go the tiniest bit south, it will have a monster battle for you.
Wow.
I don't know if it's like I just got unlucky, but that was my first playthrough in the game of years, and I'm just like, oh god, I forgot this place existed. So yeah, that was a fun way to start that game off.
Also, fun fact, you don't get the last character in your party until like the last dungeon, apparently.
Oh, you mean the missing character?
Yes.
Who freaking like just goes missing and you just have people rotating in and out of your party?
Significantly underleveled.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I can't even say, like, to be fair, other games have done that. But even then, because I was going to say Final Fantasy 3 did that, but even with Final Fantasy 3, you still had a full party of 4, and then you had the guest character come in and help you sometimes.
At least 3 was a competent game.
That's very true.
Easy but competent.
Yeah, but yeah, be on the lookout for that. That's gonna be something that we're working on once we, capture cards and shit up and running, or whatever the
Yeah.
fuck we decide. Elgato, whatever the people use now.
We're probably gonna use Elgato.
Most likely. So yeah, we're doing that. That's gonna be fun.
I'm even gonna have them play through Final Fantasy 14 with me.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that
And then we'll
that
get
will be
addicted.
fun, and you will see how busted my character is.
Oh, to be fair, it's not every Final Fantasy. It's every number.
Oh, I'm sorry. So no, we're not going through Mystic Quest. We're not
No,
going through
like,
the
not
Chocobo
doing that.
series. We're not
No.
going through freaking what was it? Unfortunately we're not
Crystal
going to go through
Chronicles.
Unfortunately, we won't be doing tactics, but
Tactics. Crystal Chronicles wasn't bad though.
I never played Crystal
Not
Chronicles.
Crystal Chronicles. Crystal Caravan was the one that wasn't bad.
Okay.
Yeah, Crystal Chronicles I don't touch. And we are not doing something.
Wasn't Final Fantasy Mystic Quest like a Dragon Quest game?
Yes.
I think it was a Dragon Quest game that they brought to the States and they ported it. They just slapped the words Final Fantasy on it so that it will sell. Like, I think it's actually a Dragon Quest game, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, we'll look it up later.
I could be wrong, but
I think there is one, but I know Mystic Quest is one that was a baby's Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
Like it was
I
extremely
could have
bad.
sworn it was Mystic Quest. It was. I remember seeing somewhere that like one of the games that we got that was called Final Fantasy was really a Dragon Quest game.
You are right. There is one. I forgot which one it
I could have
was.
sworn it was Mystic Quest.
It might have been because you only had like 2 characters that you could play as. And
I think it's like part of the Erdrick trilogy.
really,
I
What?
think.
That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. I just like remember
No,
seeing.
because those games were released under a different name when they came out over here.
Yeah, but I don't know. I remember seeing something like no, it wasn't Dragon Quest. It was Secret of Mana.
definitely Secret of Mana did have a Final
yes.
Fantasy.
It was Secret of Mana and then Trials of Mana, but there was that's 2 and 3. The first one I think was rebranded as Mystic Quest.
Okay.
It wasn't Dragon Quest. It was Secret of Mana.
I think that's why a lot of people hate that game. It was also extremely easy. Like
That's what it was.
like I'm not even joking you. Like this is
Yeah,
baby's
because I
first-
remember when I think it was like on Switch when they announced that they were doing like in hype for the Trials of Mana remake. They announced like a Mana collection where it was like a trilogy and like it was Secret Trial and then like I think it was Mystic.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting.
But yeah.
Indeed.
So let's close this off with I don't know where Casey went, but let's just see if she's coming back because I don't want to end the podcast. I do want to talk about one more thing.
Oh, really? What do you want to talk about?
What we're expecting for the next Nintendo Direct, whenever the fuck that's gonna be.
I'm expecting. I was expecting Fighter Pass 2.
We might still get it, but I don't know.
This is honestly just me hoping here, but this is all on Capcom's side.
Mm-hmm.
I am praying because recently there have been a lot of Mega Man Legacy collections.
Yes.
So you have the regular Mega Man Legacy Collection, you have the Mega Man X Legacy Collection, now you have the Mega Man Zero Legacy Collection.
Mm-hmm.
I want the Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection.
See, here's the thing. I was thinking about that too, but like, if they're gonna do Battle Network, you'll probably have to include Star Force too.
Yeah,
And
I would be fine with that.
But like, there's so many of those games
Here's the thing,
that
though.
like
What they could
it
do,
will probably have to be on like 2 separate collections. The way
what they
they
could do is they could combine it like they did with Battle Network 5, because they did Mega Man Battle Network 5 Double Team DS, where you could play both versions on one game.
Okay.
So you could play as Team Proto Man or Team Colonel on one game, one cartridge. That's it.
Okay.
They could do that easily,
Okay. They could probably do that.
especially since like
That would be interesting. It's just I'm not sure if Capcom would do it, but you never know. I mean, I wasn't expecting
I'm sorry, what were you saying? You
I wasn't expecting a Zero collection. So
I wasn't expecting either, and then they gave it to me, and I love it because there is a new version called Z Chaser. And
oh yeah.
I love it because it's so challenging. Because the thing is, you try to beat it in the fastest way possible. Like the stages, from each Mega Man Zero game.
Didn't they add a mode to the X collection too?
Yes, it was a challenge mode where you get to verse two bosses from different games.
That's right. That's right.
At the same time as X.
I thought that was so cool.
And some bosses honestly work really well together.
Yeah. I thought that was awesome.
And then at the very, very end, you verse X and Zero.
Right.
Now this one is more of a multiplayer type thing, and I do like the fact what they did. They try to make it so that way you try to get the best thing on the leaderboards.
Right.
So that's a lot of fun trying to seeing how like people are able to beat certain stages so quickly. So I always thought that was interesting.
Oh god, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, that'd be cool. It depends on what you do. I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm wondering what else they would show at the Nintendo Direct.
I mean, this is honestly just like wishful thinking, but like I feel like it's overdue. I feel like we gotta see something for Prime 4. We gotta see something, right?
Something for Prime 4 and something for Bayonetta 3.
Yeah, Bayonetta 3 has like that's we know like just as much about that as we do of Prime 4, and it's just a title.
Yeah, unfortunately that's all we have, and
yeah, I feel like they gotta do something like that. I feel like we may be getting a few more ports, maybe. Like, I honest to God, I'm surprised they haven't done this yet. I feel like a Mario 3D World port is coming.
most
Like
likely.
the fact that they haven't done that yet is like kind of baffling to me. I think they're gonna do a Mario 3D World port, and they're gonna add like maybe 2 new characters.
Who do you think the characters are going to be?
Maybe like Toadette and Yoshi, I think would work.
I'd be okay with that.
And like I know some people are like, well, Yoshi has like a different gimmick. So I'm like, well, yeah, well, so does Rosalina, and Rosalina literally has an attack that no one else does.
And
You
doesn't
could
Toadette
like
have
kind of
the
work
freaking-
that into Yoshi.
Doesn't Toadette have the Peach Crown?
Yeah, you could bring that back, even though that'd be really weird considering Peach and Peachette would be in the same game side by side, and that'd be really confusing. But if you want to do it, you can do that. And Toadette's been really popular now, so I feel like they could add Toadette and maybe throw in
I'm wondering
Yoshi.
what caused this popularity spike in Toadette.
I have no idea.
Like,
It just kind of happened.
like no one liked Toadette, and I like Toadette.
I was
always did.
fine with Toadette.
And then all
I
of a
never
sudden,
liked Toadette.
okay, you see, yeah, one out of 3 people. But Toadette was like one of those. Oh, okay, it's a female Toad. It doesn't really matter. But then all of a sudden, everyone wants to use Toadette. Everyone loves Toadette.
Yeah, it just kind of came out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden they added the crown, which added like a whole new layer of lore that like I guarantee Nintendo does not care about.
It also added Bowsette.
Yeah,
Oh Lord.
even though they confirmed that it's not possible.
No one cared. No one.
No,
honestly
yeah,
cared.
no one cares. Yeah, if any character other than Toadette grabs it, it just becomes 10 coins. To which spawned a really funny image of Bowser just like, oh, sweet, 10 coins.
Oh Lord.
But
What else do we need from this new direct? I'm hoping we find more.
I mean, obviously, I want to say Fighters Pass 2. I want to say character, and I want to say Crash, but I honestly don't know if we'll even get one, let alone if it'll be him. I hope it will. I swear to God, if none of the 6 characters are Crash, I'm going to scream.
Oh Lord.
But
I'm gonna put this.
I feel like we got to see that at some point. Maybe not now because of what Sakurai said, but I don't know. You never know. I feel like we may get some more info on Breath of the Wild too.
I know we're probably gonna
Considering-
get more stuff on Pokemon.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Because
The DLCs are coming out.
yeah, the DLC is gonna come out in June. I understand that a lot of people were upset with the whole entire idea of, you know, the DLC being a thing. But I'd like to point something out that a lot of people forgot. This probably also has been pointed out by like a lot of PokeTubers. But remember, it used to be that you got the same game for like a little bit different for twice the price of the DLC.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
that.
So, and not even like how we pay for both the DLC and it's $30. Like we used to pay $40-$50 for this new game.
And it was just the same game with some extra.
Only
This is like full new campaigns and stories that are like half the price. So I think I don't have an issue with that. I just don't think it looks interesting.
the only thing that looks interesting to me is how they do the legend. I know you hate this, but the legendary evolution.
Ugh, I'm so sick of legendary evolutions. It takes like the entire point of legendaries away.
I also want to know more about that that goat with the gigantic crown on his head.
Oh yeah, with the second DLC.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
like I know that's not coming out until like the winter, but at the same time, that looks interesting because they said that that's supposed to be the Pokemon that used to rule all of Galar.
Right.
Yeah, you first had the god of all Pokemon. Now you have the ruler of a whole entire region,
Yeah.
which
Kind of feels like a step down, but like
here's the thing: you can't really make another god Pokemon.
no.
Are you sure? I'm back.
Oh, hi Casey, there you are.
I mean, then again, you could make it so that way Pokemon is polytheistic.
Yeah, I don't know. They'll probably show something. I feel like this is wishful thinking as well. I am almost betting money on the fact that they are not going to show this at all. Like, can we please see Pikmin 4?
Good luck.
Please.
I'm sorry, I don't think that's gonna happen.
It's not. I'll even take a Pikmin 3 port. Just something.
We do need something for
I
Pikmin.
missed out on Pikmin 3, and just-
but I will say,
come
Nintendo,
on.
thank you
So
for
many
giving,
people want Pikmin 4.
thank you for giving me Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Oh yeah, that game is great.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot they.
It's so much fun.
Thank you for making me want an idle game so badly.
Yeah, honestly, when it comes to like the direct, I really don't know what they're gonna show off. I feel like they got to do like a big reveal,
They have
like
to, with this
what their
results.
holiday game is, unless their holiday game is Breath of the Wild 2.
Which it could be.
It could be, but I feel like they got to do something else. Like, I'd like to see another Mario title in there, whether it's like DLC for Odyssey or DLC for Luigi's Mansion 3 or just an Odyssey sequel or maybe Mario Galaxy 3. That's wishful thinking. But I don't know. I feel like they got to show off something. But the one thing that I really would like to see, but I know probably won't happen, a new Mario and Luigi game. I feel like my
Oh,
hopes
yes.
for that died with Alpha Dream. And
Which one
yes,
Which one was that again?
the Mario and Luigi series.
No.
With like Superstar Saga and
No, no, no.
Story.
Oh, you mean no? I said Alpha Dream, and I'm like, wait a minute, no, that's the company.
Alpha Dream was the company that made those games.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Like and also I think that
when they
kinda
went out of
screwed-
business,
I think they
I-
kind of
I-
screwed themselves over with
how the last 2 games they released were just remakes.
not even just that, like The last new game they actually made was just not.
Oh yeah, the last new one was Paper Jam. That game was
Yeah, that wasn't good.
not good. It wasn't bad, but it was compared to the other games, it was very mediocre,
Like,
very generic.
even
Like
if you
that's the
look
best
at
way I can describe it. It's generic. It's a Mario and Luigi and Paper Mario crossover. You have the opportunity to cross over Fawful and Dementio, two of the most beloved villains in the fandom, and you give us Bowser and Bowser.
like, here's
Like,
the thing about that. If
come
you look
on.
at like what the most hated one out of all of them are, all of them compared to Paper Jam, which is Partners in Time. Uh,
Yeah. And the reason here's the thing though, a lot of people and Antonio, for example, and Partners in Time is Antonio's favorite.
it's my favorite too.
Yeah. I to the argument. I get why people say it's one of their favorites, and I get why people say it's one of their least favorites. And I'm kind of on the least favorite side. I still like it more than Paper Jam because at least, Partners in Time is an original story and not just Save Peach from Bowser again. Um but this time Paper Mario is there. But my issue with Partners in Time is that
Sponges.
the bosses are health sponges and the bros attacks system is awful. In every other game, you have BP points and you replenish them with items. This time, your attacks are items that you can run out of,
Okay,
and I think that's a
here's
terrible
what I have to
system.
say about that. I agree with you on the bros attack system. That was my biggest pet peeve, was the fact that I have to go to the store and buy the specific items for specific bros attacks, and I have to make sure that the boss isn't resistant against it.
Yeah. That was a thing too.
It's like, it's not like how you had it, like as you said, with the other games where you had the BP, you use your BP to use the bro attacks, and then you get items to replenish your BP, so you can use the bro attacks even more.
Yeah.
And
For
if you somehow, like, wasted one because it was the boss was resistant, okay, I used a little bit of BP, but at least now I know that's not going to work. You're
yeah,
not wasting a whole item. It's like, shit, now I have to buy more
yeah.
of these shits.
For me, if I had to like rank them from worst to best, it would be at the very bottom is Paper Jam, because that game's just so bland and just unoriginal and generic as fuck.
The first boss is
Um,
Speedy Piranha.
Yeah, like, dude, I'm not even joking. I walked up to a Koopa thinking it was an NPC I could talk to, and a battle started. And I'm like, oh,
Because every
it's
other time
that
you found
generic.
because every other time you found like the Koopas and they were actually like people.
Yeah, they're NPCs. Now the battle starts. I'm like, oh, like that was the moment where I realized they're doing nothing. It's your basic run of the mill generic game, and that's when I knew. I'm like, oh god. So yeah, that's the bottom. Then above that is Partners in Time because of the reasons I mentioned, the bro system, and I think the bosses are health sponges. Then is Dream Team. I thought Dream Team was really fun. It was kind of a step down from the previous one, which is my number one. Spoiler alert, but like,
You mean I know
um,
exactly which one it is.
it was. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I love what they did with Luigi. I like how they gave Luigi so much more character and depth. So I like that. Above that is Superstar Saga because Superstar Saga is just it's a classic. It's so good, and the remake is honestly, in my opinion, the definitive way to play it.
It is.
Which I can't say the same for number one, which is Inside Story. Bowser's Inside Story is so good. Not only is it my favorite of the series, but one of my favorite games of all time. And the remake is good. Don't get me wrong, but it's not the definitive way to play it. I still think there are a lot of things that the original did just better than the remake. Not that the remake wasn't bad and I didn't enjoy it. It's just that it's not as good. That's just my standings on the Mario Luigi games. I would love a new one. I don't think it will happen though.
Unfortunately, no, because here's how it is. Unfortunately, when when the new version of a game comes out and it does poorly, the company thinks like, okay, we shouldn't do this again. Again, look at the city of NT. That did horrible.
Yeah.
And now they're saying they're not seeing doing another Dissidia in the near future.
Yep. My
And-
main issue is that like they Alpha Dream went out of business and everything, so they can't do another Mario and Luigi game. But like they can do another Mario and Luigi game because
It's their product.
but I feel like it won't be the same. If it's a different team working on it, it won't be the same. And I'm scared that it would be like I don't want to say it, but I'm afraid that if they do another Mario and Luigi game, it would be the Mario and Luigi series sticker star moment. And I don't want that. Oh, that's something that I feel I might show off. A new Paper Mario game.
They might, but again, those last two games have been horrible.
Well, there are rumors that a new Paper Mario coming out and it's a return to form. To like Thousand Year Door style. So if that's true, I'd be down for that. But the other rumor that I hope is true is that we'd be getting a new 2D Metroid, which apparently will be Fusion related. So whether or not it's a Fusion sequel or a Fusion remake, I'd be down for
my
either.
favorite Metroid of all time.
I'd be down for either.
Listen.
I would love a Fusion remake in the style of Samus Returns. That would be amazing.
Fusion was my favorite, even though it scared the shit out of me.
Fusion's my second favorite.
Oh.
I still think Super Metroid's the best.
I gotta go.
Actually, no. Honestly, I think Fusion's probably my third now because I think Samus Returns just beat it out. I really like Samus
I
Returns.
played Samus Returns. I love that game, but I
had a
have to
great
give
time.
it. I have to give it to Fusion.
I mean, I'm partially biased because it's the first time my big boy Ridley was a final boss in a Metroid game,
Okay, I give you that.
and he's the best fight in the game.
Okay, I give you that.
But yeah, I would just love a new 2D Metroid. I just love anything new from Metroid. Like I know we got Prime 4 coming out soon, and I'm excited for that. But like I want more.
You know, if you got it in the same type of way of Samus Returns,
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
be scared even more.
yeah. Right.
Because SAX,
Oh, dude, seeing that SAX jump scare in like a full like 3D render.
oh god, I still remember that first time I ever saw it.
Oh, dude, yeah, it scared the shit out of me.
I was like, "What the f is that thing?
Yeah,
What is in my suit?"
yeah, that was. Fusion really is like the most of all the Metroid games. Even like the Nightmare boss, where its
I'm
face
sorry,
starts
it's the most
melting.
what?
The most horror like.
Yeah.
Like when the Nightmare battle, when his face starts melting.
Oh god, that gave me
That
nightmares.
was fucked.
That gave me nightmares.
And then they brought him back in Other M, and it wasn't as cool.
Well, I think that because with other M,
It's just a bad game.
yeah, I was gonna say that, but I think that
Fantoon does not deserve final boss status.
no. But
Why did you make Fantoon the final boss?
and not Kraid?
Why is Cray just not in the game?
I don't know.
You brought back the fucking Queen Metroid and you didn't make that the final boss. You brought back Mother Brain and you didn't make that the final boss. No, Fantoon.
Because
kidding
what's
me?
the fun in doing what's expected?
I mean, is
Yeah,
that
I mean,
the
don't get me
fact-
wrong. I didn't expect Fantoon, but like, Fantoon's such a fucking one-off villain. He was in Super Metroid, and that's it.
It's not even just like it's like Steve said. It's like a one-off villain. He's not really that memorable. Like you see him once.
Yeah, but you know who is a one-off memorable villain? Never bring back my boy Crocomire. Bring back Crocomire, Nintendo.
You know what I want? You know
Petition.
you know how they had
You know,
like
bring
the,
back Crocomire.
you know how they had the Metroid Prime how they had the Metroid Prime Hunters?
Yeah.
They need to bring that back.
Yes.
Redo
But like
that.
most of them are dead.
Redo that, but bring them back. Make new ones.
Yeah, because like they all died in 3.
Yeah, I know they died in 3. I'm mad that
Well,
they freaking.
here's the thing. The way 3 ended, and I really hope they're continuing this into 4. The way 3 ended, when Samus's ship takes off, Silux's ship. So like, it's a assume that Psylocke is going to be the villain of Prime 4, which I hope they stick with that.
But I actually like Silex.
I do too. I think he would be amazing for the main villain of Prime 4, especially now that Dark Samus is dead and they need a new villain to fill that void.
Okay, yeah,
I think
Dark
Psylocke would be perfect.
Yeah. You think he's gonna go rogue?
Most likely.
Maybe.
I mean, he was already kind of like,
I do what the fuck I want whenever I want.
yeah, he already was that kind of character. I think that if Samus gets in his way, he's like, I don't care, get out of my way, I'll kill you, I don't care.
I mean, he almost killed her twice.
Yeah, he'll do it again.
Like, the time I freaking played Metro Prime Hunters, I was like, okay, I have to verse Silex now.
My friend Paula suggested something that they'll never do, but it would be amazing.
What?
If they treat Dark Samus like a symbiote and have it attached to Psylocke.
Okay, I'd be okay with that.
So cool, but they'll never do it.
I would be okay with that. Like, make it more of a parasitic type of thing that actually attaches
Yeah.
to Silex. And Silex decides, you know what? This makes me more powerful. Why the heck not?
Yeah, but they'll never do it.
They should.
It would be awesome, though.
They should do it, okay? Because that would make...
You know what else they'll never do, but I've been wanting it for years?
What?
An M-rated Metroid game.
Unfortunately, that's a hard pass.
Yeah, but like, if there's any game series that Nintendo owns that could get away with an M-rated game, it's Metroid.
Yes.
Yeah, most likely. Everything
But-
else is very meant to be kid friendly.
Yeah.
Metroid is something that you can kind of put on like the border of going into more mature
Yeah, like a
or
lot of
just
them are
going
like,
right into it.
yeah, a lot of those Metroid games are really dark too. Like we said, like Fusion's a borderline horror game. I feel like the only reason why it didn't get an M rating was because it's on a fucking Game Boy.
Yeah.
Because that game's fucking creepy, man.
Like, you always had a sense of dread, like, walking through everything. Because the first time you ever come in contact with SAX, that thing
yeah.
chases the shit out of you.
Fusion also contains the loudest sound ever produced on a Game Boy cartridge.
Really?
Ridley's scream.
Oh, my...
Ridley's scream in Fusion is so fucking loud.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. And it's eerie, too.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. It's
Like, you can
it's
tell
so
it's not
ridiculously
really
loud.
Ridley in control.
I mean, technically. It's the Ridley clone from Other M, but you could argue that it's still Ridley because the Ridley clone retains all of his memories.
Yeah, but then he gets taken
You
over by
can
the
tell
parasite.
because in Other M, he recognized exactly who Samus was and was torturing her. Like, if he didn't have Ridley's memories, he just like smack her away. But no, he grabbed her and like started torturing her. He knew exactly what was going on.
You know, and that's...
So he has not only his sadistic personality, but all of his memories too.
And then he got the parasites.
Yeah.
And that...
Neo Ridley was so cool. It's why I use the blue Ridley skin in Smash, is because Neo Ridley is technically, canonically, the current Ridley.
Oh, you mean the one from Fusion?
Yeah, because let's be honest, he's not dead.
No.
The only thing that ever killed Ridley was a planet explosion.
Hold on, you cut out.
The only thing that ever killed Ridley was the entire planet exploded.
Okay, I'll give you that. Yeah, that is true. He is a durable
Which
motherfucker.
did not happen at the end of Fusion, so he's fine.
He's a durable motherfucker.
Wait, did the station that she was on blow up at the end of Fusion?
Oh, no, yeah, it did. It did. Because there was a countdown.
Yeah.
And you were...
So
and,
Ridley's probably dead.
and you saw the Omega Metroid.
Yeah, that's right. That was a cool final boss.
And then SAX tried to destroy it and couldn't and died. And then it said, okay, here's your suit back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so
technically,
Ridley's most
SAX
likely dead,
lives
but-
inside of Samus still.
Yep. But you never know. Ridley could have like regenerated and escaped the space station. The only reason why he didn't escape Zebby's was because he didn't think Samus would blow up the entire fucking planet.
Well, because usually Samus doesn't do that type of thing. She'll blow up a space station, but not a planet.
Yeah, like she literally blew up the whole goddamn planet. The Metroid timeline's weird, and
Yeah.
like it's mainly because like the games. It's kind of like the same way that like Castlevania timeline, how like the games don't exactly come out in chronological. You know,
Yeah, I know
like
exactly what you mean.
like like uh like Fusion is the last game in the timeline. You know, like
Wait,
Fusion
really?
takes place. Yeah, Fusion takes place after Other M. Uh, and takes place directly after Super Metroid.
Okay.
It go if I'm not mistaken, I believe it goes. It's Zero Mission or the original Metroid.
Yeah, I remember that.
Then the Prime games. Then Samus Returns, Super Metroid, Other M Fusion.
Interesting.
And then the same deal with Castlevania, how like that timeline's all over the place. The
Okay, I
first
know
game
that.
in the timeline is Lament of Innocence, which is a PS2 game.
Okay, I'll give you that because when you told me that how the Belmont started, I'm like, wait.
Oh yeah,
So
that timeline is those games are not in chronological order
not at
and
all.
release order. Like yeah, the first game in the time is on PS2 and the line is on Game Boy.
I loved
No,
how there was
sorry,
a slight change
NES.
in your voice when you went Game Boy.
Sorry, no, NES is the second one. Game Boy is the third in the time.
Yeah. Oh, right. You're right.
Yeah, it's Lament of Innocence, Castlevania 3, um, Castlevania the Adventure, and Adventure 2. Um, then Castlevania 1, Castlevania 2, then no, oh my god, I skipped over. After Castlevania is Curse of Darkness, which is also a PS2 game. Then is the Game Boy ones, and then a bunch of the NES ones. Um, there's like a couple of remakes in there too. It's all over the place. But you know what? It's not though.
What?
As confusing as the Zelda timeline.
Let's not get into that, okay? The Zelda. Here's the thing.
Three branching paths.
Here's the thing. The Zelda
What the
timeline
fuck,
didn't need.
Nintendo?
The Zelda timeline didn't need to happen. You know it didn't.
Mm-mm.
Okay, but because people got so caught up in when did this event happen, and they're like, no, they're just different worlds. No, because you have Toon Link, and then you have Young Link, and then you have Adult Link, and then you have this Link, and then you have that Link. They can't all be. It's like, okay, fine, we'll make a timeline for you.
And it's crazy. It's crazy.
And I'm just like, why? Why?
Skyward Sword is the beginning.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Yep.
Wait, what?
Skyward Sword.
Yeah,
is the
Skyward
beginning
Sword
of
is the
Legend of
first in the
Zelda.
timeline.
Jesus.
But how?
Because Ganon did not get well.
It wasn't Ganon, it was Demise,
Yeah.
who then
Turned into
became
Ganon.
Ganon. It's ridiculous. And they did confirm though, and I'm glad because I called this Breath of the Wild is the end. Like the last in the timeline.
So
And
far.
well, yeah, I mean Breath of the Wild 2 is obviously going to be after that because it's a direct sequel. But the way they said it is that it's at the end of the timeline, but they didn't say which one. So when people said which timeline is at the end of, they just said whichever one you want. So basically, no matter what happens, no matter what timeline you go, the events of Breath of the Wild are inevitable. So eventually,
It's
it all
basically kind of
merges
like-
back into one time.
It's kind of like how you have multiverse theory, but then even then you still get back to the same. You still have
Yeah.
the three dimension pass, but no matter what, you're gonna all collide back into the center.
Like it starts with Skyward Sword, then goes to Minish Cap, then Ocarina, and that's where then
Yeah.
it branches out into three different paths, and then those three different paths connect back into Breath of the Wild, because no matter what happens, Breath of the Wild will occur. So the timeline splits and then merges back. So you could say the split was fucking unnecessary to begin.
Didn't I just say that? I literally just said that there was no reason for it to exist. And
Well, I do agree with that. Let me say this. But it also goes into what people also go into multiverse theory. And eventually, even with there are certain things that are, and this goes into Doctor Who, that are fixed points.
Right.
yeah, that is true. No matter what, there is going to be at some point one point where everything's going to converge back to the same thing. Will it split off
Yeah.
after that? It can. It can. It probably will, but it can. But there's always going to be one point in your life where everything's going to collide back together.
It just still blows my mind that the very first Zelda game is like towards the end of the bad timeline. Like that's still mind blowing to me.
Unfortunately, and it was a bad game.
The first Zelda?
No, not the first Zelda.
The first in the timeline.
Oh, I was saying no, I'm saying the first Zelda game. Like the very first NES Legend of Zelda is towards the end of the bad timeline.
Oh no, I was talking about the first ever in the timeline.
Yeah,
Zelda.
Skyward Sword sucks.
Skyward Sword is horrible. I will
Skyward
never
Sword's bad.
ever say that the first Zelda
Well,
is bad
I mean-
because I loved it.
I mean, controversial statement. With the exception of Breath of the Wild, I think all are bad.
I'll give you that.
I do not like 3D Zelda games. Breath of the Wild is the only.
Because it's so pretty.
It's not even just
Yeah,
that.
well, not only
it's,
that, it's pretty and like the gameplay is like
it's fluid
coherent and
Yeah.
competent.
and not a
If I
bunch
want
of
to
waiting.
jump, I just press the X button. I don't have to run off a cliff and hope that Link is angled properly to make
Also,
the jump.
It's also not a bunch of waiting.
Yeah, that's
You
my
make
other
the
problem with 3D
openings.
Zelda is that there's so much waiting in all of them.
You make the openings in Breath of the Wild.
Give me an overhead 2D Zelda any day. And when I say 2D Zelda, I mean like the over style, like Link to the Past and like the original NES and Link's Awakening, which I've been adoring the Link's Awakening remake.
I still haven't
That's
gotten
been
that yet.
so fun. I got it like the same day I got Pokemon Mystery Dungeon because I've been missing out on it and I've been meaning to buy it for a while. And I'm like, hey, I have money, I'll buy it.
Okay.
And I've been loving it. It's been great. But yeah, but when it comes to the 3D games like Ocarina, Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, nah.
No, yeah, I
The
honestly.
closest one to like that I would say before Breath of the Wild was Wind Waker.
Well,
I did find some enjoyment with Wind Waker, but it got really tedious after a while when I had to explore this big open sea of nothing.
oh yeah.
And I'm like, I'm bored.
You have to actually figure out where the hell to go.
Yeah, which is a big problem in a lot of the 3D Zelda games. It suffers from what I like to call "where do I go" syndrome.
And and the thing is, it's like that's what a lot of early RPGs used to have the problem of, but then they fixed
Yeah.
that.
Final Fantasy 1, you make your
Dragon
character.
Quest.
Where do I go? But yeah, a lot of the 3D Zeldas do that. In 2D Zeldas, they seem to do a much better job of telling you where you need to go, and it also helps because the map isn't as big.
That is true. A lot of the time, it's not as big and it's not as
It's
confusing.
not as big. And like it's easier to navigate. Like I've gotten farther in every 2D Zelda I've played than any of the 3D ones.
You know what else? You know what else actually pissed me off about a lot of the 3D Zelda games? Cutscenes.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of them.
Don't like. Here's the thing. In RPGs, I don't mind seeing cutscenes because you're going off of what the normal play is to seeing a cinematic cutscene.
Yeah.
But in Ocarina of Time, you have a bunch of cutscenes to just get to one spot.
Yeah. Oh man. You ever play Twilight Princess?
Oh god,
Don't you love how you don't get the sword until like an hour into the game?
Oh god.
Fuck you. My favorite argument that I ever got about like defending Twilight Princess was, well, you know what? Once you're able to freely turn into a, it gets really good. That's halfway through the game.
Yeah.
That's like 5 hours in.
Yeah.
Maybe even longer.
And I
I'm
honestly,
sorry, but a game should not take that long to get good.
like, I can understand, like, after someone says, oh, after, like, the first boss, it gets good. And then I go, like, okay, fine, you got me there. But when after multiple bosses,
Yeah.
it gets good.
That's like another reason why I could never get into Earthbound. And like it just takes like I love Mother 3. I think it's one of like the best games, one of the best RPGs. But like when it comes to just regular Mother 2 Earthbound, I couldn't really get into it. And Antonio told me it gets really good once you get to Foresight. I'm like, yeah, but that's the fourth area of the game.
No, yeah, I never finished that game because I got to the third area and it wasn't fun.
Yeah, and like, but Mother 3 is engaging from the very start.
You have an engaging story, you have an engaging characters, and that battle system, I love it so much.
Yeah, it's great. And you know what else? We're never going to get it.
If Nintendo, if you're watching this and you
We're
somehow,
never going to get it.
and you somehow say, well, here it is on Switch.
Oh, dude, that is like my biggest fever dream. Is like, remember how I was saying like, oh, these are all pipe dream announcements, like Pikmin 4, a new Mario Galaxy 3, or like a new Mario Luigi. No. The biggest one is Mother 3. I am like, I say it every time a direct happens as a joke, knowing full well it will never happen. So the day it does happen, like, I will eat my shorts.
Like, here's the thing, Nintendo.
Because it's not
Do
happening.
you know how much of a gold mine you're sitting on when it comes to
Oh,
Mario?
yeah.
People have already made it a fact that they would buy a copy of Mother 3 if you released it.
Yeah,
in
they
the
just
States.
won't.
Just release it in the States. People and children and their grandmothers and their
The
grandfathers.
main character of your game has been in 3 Super Smash Brothers games. One of your top selling franchises. People know who Lucas is. People know the characters. You just give us the game.
You even added 2 of the characters from his game, from Mother
Dude,
3
when that Smash
into his
Brothers
Final
like
Smash.
when that Smash Brothers Direct was happening, or I think it was the E3 Direct, right?
It was.
Yeah, and they were showing off all of the things, and like they were showing the changes to Final Smash. The second Kumatora showed up, I like jumped out of my seat. I'm like, what? But no, we'll never get Mother 3, and I just have to accept that.
I need to
It's
play
about
that.
as likely as getting an M-rated Metro.
I need to play that again.
I have the fan translation, like on the cartridge. I found it at a video game trading post. They had it, and I'm like, is this the fan translation? They're like, yeah. I'm like, how much? Give. I want.
Give it up because we all want it.
Yeah.
It's not like you're not going to make money off of this. It's not even like people hate the game. It's like people just
No, it's as I've mentioned, it's the only Earthbound game I like.
It's one of the
I don't
few
like
games I like.
Earthbound. I'm not a fan of Earthbound Beginning. But like Mother 3, it's also so weird calling I don't like Earthbound Beginnings, I don't like Earthbound, but Mother 3, it's so weird because I don't refer it to as Earthbound 2.
Well, because it's all Mother.
Yeah, because like for some reason it was Mother 2, and Mother 3, and when it came time to port it here, they only ported Mother 2 and changed the title to Earthbound. And then when they re-released Mother 1 here, they called it Earthbound Beginnings.
It's kind of like how they
So
did with
if they ever do release Mother 3 here, they'll probably call it Earthbound 2. But like, whatever. I don't care. It's Mother 3.
It's kind of like what they did with Dr. Eggman. In Japan, he was called Dr. Eggman.
He was always Eggman.
And
then they changed it to Robotnik.
And then they just decided to change it to Dr. Ivo Robotnik for no reason. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Even
Peach-
Sega, like
Peach had a similar situation. She was always Princess Peach in Japan, but here we called her Toadstool.
I don't know why. I'm like,
until
why?
Mario 64. Yeah, both times it wasn't until the first 3D game in the we started.
Actually, you bring up a good point. That is the first
Right.
time they actually ever.
The first time they said Peach was Mario 64, and the first time they said Eggman was Sonic Adventure.
Oh god, Sonic Adventure. I don't know why people shit on that game, but it was a good game.
Me neither. I mean, it hasn't aged well, but like most games don't. I don't think Mario 64 aged well.
Mario 64 aged horribly. Sonic
Sonic
Adventure
Adventure
did
didn't
better.
age that great. I think Adventure 2 aged pretty. I mean, even then, Adventure 2 didn't age that well, but I think it aged better than Adventure 1.
It did. But even then, that's
Um,
still better than freaking Mario 64.
yeah, Mario 64 did not age well. Which is why the definitive way to play that game is DS version.
Oh yeah.
At least as long as you play it on a 3DS, because I'll be damned if I play Mario 64 with a freaking D-pad. No, that's not happening.
I played it on a D-pad. It wasn't too bad.
I mean, I did too, but like when it came time to swing Bowser around, I had to use circle the screen. It's way easier on the 3DS to just use this the circle pad.
Oh yeah, I get that.
That's the definitive way to play it.
I also love the fact that you can play like as all the characters.
Yeah,
Yoshi, Luigi,
Luigi, Wario, even. Yeah, but the original game didn't age the best. But yeah, that's I think we've rambled long enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was gonna start saying something. I still have work in the morning.
same.
That is true.
Right.
So,
Well,
I guess that's the end of the first episode, huh?
yeah. Hopefully future episodes will be more focused, as this one was kind of
Yes.
all over the place.
We'll have
Well,
more.
that's
We'll
what we
have
always do.
topics.
We just ramble.
Yeah.
We'll have actual topics. It's
Call
just
it the
that
Ramblecast.
we'll have actual topics. It's just that for this one, I thought it would be good to just start off with seeing how we kind of go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all home and quarantined and bored, so.
Yeah. So, everyone,
right.
I hope you guys enjoyed. If you loved it, please give us a like and a thumbs up. Oh, wow, that's the same exact thing.
It's the same thing.
Shut up, Brandon. Give us a like and subscribe.
Did you
and
say just shut up, Brandon?
Yes. Yes, I said shut up to myself. Because sometimes I'm that stupid.
It's okay.
Anyway.
Anyway, so give us a like, subscribe, leave a comment to see what you like, what you didn't like. Let us know.
Hit that,
do listen.
hit that bell if it works. I don't fucking know.
I never turn it on.
I do. It does work on occasion. Because
On
YouTube,
occasion, yeah.
Because YouTube sometimes... we're not going to talk bad about YouTube right now. Oh, who am I kidding?
No.
Sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I'll
All
be
right.
honest. Anyway, so we'll see you all next time.
Goodbye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.